Hello everyone, how are you doing today? So, I was streaming, getting better at PvP today, and so I was just practicing 1.8 PvP. That's the more popular version of PvP, and it's the one I personally play more. So, after that stream, I watched a video by Cool, C-O-O-L, Cool. And the focus on that video was how the combat is gonna change again. That video came out on the 21st of May this year. Only about an hour later, Intel Edits uploaded the video saying, is it finally time to drop 1.8 PvP? So, is 1.9 as bad as people say? Definitely not. I think it is severely exaggerated how bad it is. I don't think it's a bad version whatsoever. I feel like you should play whatever fits your preference, because I don't mind it. I know some people absolutely hate it, but I don't mind it, and I think it's a pretty tactically challenging version. What I have to say is 1.8 is more movement based, more movement and CPS based. 1.9 is more tactical and more aiming and more sort of thinking on your feet and adapting to your opponent's playstyle. 1.8, it is very, you know what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and get you into a combo, or if you're near the edge and you're playing skywars, they're going to knock you into the edge of a void, or, you know, you can work out what they're going to do depending on the scenario, like where you are, your positioning. But with 1.9, it depends what they're using at the time. Do they have lava in their offhand with a sword? What are they going to try and do? They're going to try and put you in lava. Do they have a bow in their offhand? Do they have a shield with an axe? You know, you need to work out what they're trying to do. And it's a lot more person-to-person based instead of scenario-based. So that is why I think 1.9 is more tactically challenging. So I was asking my friend Quiz what he thought, and I sort of asked him a few questions, and so I'll be referencing these as we go along. We can all agree 1.8 is a lot more popular. I think Bedwars by itself, which is 1.8 based, is more popular than almost any server with it on, with 1.9 on. One thing to keep in mind though, as I was speaking to Quiz, was he doesn't play 1.9 too much. So, 1.8, Quiz here agrees with me, is 1.8 is a lot more skill-based. And by skill-based, we mean more movement, not necessarily, like, overall skill. It's definitely a lot more movement-based, which takes quite a bit of skill to get into the combos, to get the block hits in at the right times. It's definitely a lot more skillful when it comes to movement and aiming. 1.9 on the other hand, it's more skillful in the way you need to block, you need to get the bow shots, you need to hit them as they don't have their shield up, and not when they have their shield up. And I agree with this is what Quiz said. In my opinion, 1.9 is harder to learn, 1.8 is harder to master, and I think that sums it up really well. So 1.9 is pretty difficult to learn, but once you've learned it, you've sort of, there's not much else to learn. 1.8, because it's more popular, there's a lot more people that are going to be better than you. So while it's easier to learn quicker, to master is a lot more difficult, because everyone else is already so good. So as a new player coming in, 1.8 will be harder to master, but easier to learn, and opposites for 1.9. So, is it as bad as people say? Definitely not. I think it is severely underrated, and I think it should be appreciated more. I do believe that there needs to be a huge change to the PvP system as a whole, but not necessarily because 1.9 is bad, but because it could be better, and because so many more people play 1.8, 1.9 kind of gets wasted, and that's not going to change over time. The only way that will change over time is if hypixel release a 1.9 exclusive game mode that suddenly gets popular, which isn't going to happen. I highly doubt that's going to happen. 1.8 is just a lot more popular on hypixel, and why would they do that? It wouldn't make any sense. But I think there needs to be a change overall, because otherwise it's just going to stay the way it is. I don't think that's fair, because then effectively everyone would be playing a system that went out of date 7 years ago, which, you know, is not the best. Another thing about 1.9 is that it's kind of difficult to play. And I mean that as in, it's difficult to find a server with it. Because 1.8 is a lot more popular, most servers are 1.8. Look at minemen. There are only 2 servers I can find that are 1.9 and PvP based. It's cubecraft and PvP Legacy, which I've not actually been able to get onto. It's been full for the last few days. I think that's because of Intel's newest video. It's brought a lot more attention to the topic. So I'm going to end this video here. I've talked about everything I really need to talk about. Have a good day. Goodbye.